Hi, beautiful people. I was asked if I can do this recipe in English, and I'm gonna try my best. We're gonna start by measuring our flours. These have to be equal amounts. So I'm doing 2 cups of flour. So I'm gonna use 2 cups of corn flour, which is maseca. Make your flours really good before adding the water. The water has to be warm temperature, and I have 3 cups in here, but I'm gonna use 2 cups, and then probably I'm gonna use a little bit extra. Start mixing your water and flour together and mix them really good until it becomes solid. And if you need add a little bit of water, just add by spoons, don't add extra, because if this comes like really soft, it's gonna be really hard to make the tortillas. As you can see, I'm gonna add just a little bit more water, and I'm gonna keep mixing and mixing and kneading until it becomes solid and it looks like a I told my kids, like a Play-Doh. That's how it's supposed to be, like really soft and not sticky at all. You're gonna need to knead this dough for about 5 minutes before it's ready to start making your tortillas. Like if you can see, my dough is becoming all solid and it's becoming all together, and one of my hand haven't touched the dough, so as soon as I grab it with my dry hand, it's not supposed to stick on my hand anymore, and that's when your dough is supposed to be ready, as you can see. I have to tell you a little bit about this dough. I made it kind of like a game for the kids, because every time I'm doing tortillas, they wanted to do tortillas. And if you already tried to do corn tortillas, you know the maseca is kind of hard because it breaks easily if you don't know how to do the dough, or if you don't know how to do the tortillas. And it was kind of hard for them to do the tortillas. They have so much fun doing these tortillas, and I was cooking. Of course, I was cooking the tortillas for them. They were just doing the tortillas, and I was putting them on the heat. So I tried one of these tortillas, and I didn't expect the flavor that it came from this tortilla. So I was like, I'm gonna try some for dinner. Now, let me tell you, my husband is not very fan of flour tortillas. So when he tried one of the tortillas, he was like, what do you put in these tortillas? And I asked him why, and he said, they're really good. Since then, I keep doing these tortillas often because they have a really good flavor, and they are great for next day. Like if you have extra for next day, you want to warm them up, they're gonna be super soft. Now let me tell you how to do these tortillas. The first time you put the tortilla in the heat, a stove or whatever you're gonna cook it, make sure your first flip, do it within 5 seconds so the tortilla doesn't overcook. As you can see, I put my tortilla in the heat, and I don't even have my next tortilla ready when I flip it, because if you let it overcook, it's gonna become hard and it's not gonna be like really soft, and I really don't like that, because I like the tortillas to be soft and puffy. So if that's I think that's the most important of the tortillas, to do the first flip within 5 seconds. You're gonna flip these tortillas 3 times. The first flip has to be within 5 seconds. Second flip, don't worry, it has to be a little bit longer. And then the third flip is when your tortilla kind of inflates or raises. I don't know how to explain that. But that's when you know that you make a really good tortilla. When the tortilla, when you flip it for the third time and it inflates, that's a really good tortilla. But don't worry, I promise you that these tortillas are really easy to make. Just never forget the first flip of the tortilla. A lot of question I've been having about these tortillas is if I add any oil or if I add any lard to these tortillas. And the answer is no, I have not used lard or oil to these tortillas. And as you can see, I don't think it needs it. But if you add a little bit of oil, I don't think it will make a big difference. Just if you try to do these tortillas and if you add a little bit of oil, let me know how these tortillas came out. And honestly, I don't think it needs any of the oil, but it just depends on the taste. You know, like if you add a little bit of oil, I don't think it will make a lot of difference. But let's see. Well, just try. It doesn't hurt to try. You know, as you can see, these tortillas become like a really slim. They don't break. They're really easy to manage. I've been doing home tortillas, different kind of tortillas for the past 11 years or so. And these are my most recent ones. As I told you, these ones I made them kind of like a game for the kiddos to play, but they came out really good on flavor. So I just keep doing them, and they come really easy to make. That's why I call them my beginner learner tortillas. I have videos on my channel showing you how to make different kind of tortillas. Like I've been doing tortillas with chia, with vegetables, with beans, with lentils, with meat. And the reason I start doing this kind of tortillas is because I have a son that he was diagnosed with autism when he was only 17 months old. And he was one, and not was, he still is one of those picky eaters that are really hard to feed. So I'm really lucky that he really liked to eat quesadillas because I was able to add some vegetables to the flour. I was able to add some meat to the corn flour, and that way I was able to fit him something extra, just not the quesadilla with cheese. And up to this day, I still doing these kind of tortillas for him, and I'm really glad that I can share them with you guys. After finishing my tortillas, I'm gonna show you what I made for dinner. This is some steak with onions and green salsa, very spicy green salsa. And I just add a little bit of beans and cheese, and this is how I'm gonna have my dinner with this homemade tortillas. They are amazing and great in taste. I really recommend you to try them. And if you do have any question, because this video is the first video I do in English, and I know my English is not perfect, but I really try my best. If you have any question, just please send me a message and I will try to answer it. Thank you.